like if you were in a relationship with a girl and she has a lot of male friends and they've been there for years, so it's not something that you should even think to worry about. Would that bother you, or is that something that you'll be okay with and understand?
You want to go? I'll go. Me personally, I like to meet them because it depends how. Like you said, a lot. So I don't know how many is a lot to you, but I done dated women that had male friends and they friend like their friends ended up like would like them the whole time or ended up liking them.
Okay.
Like I've been cool with women that I ended up liking too. So it's just like rather not. I'm honest. Like I'm being honest. Like it's just
Okay,
over
well,
time.
no, yeah, okay.
Now, I'll probably agree with that. I feel like, because I think men and women think very, very differently. And I know from a woman's perspective, women can be very comfortable placing a man in the friend zone, but the man is lurking in the friend zone.
Right.
Like, I'm just waiting for an end.
I do understand
Like,
that.
as soon as the
And I
end
know that
comes in,
happens.
and how would you say it? I'm trying to say, because I'm like, I haven't dated in, I don't even know, well over a decade. So I've been married for 12, 13 years now. So it's a little different for me. But even if I was thinking with my wife, like because even me, like I don't hold many close friendships with women, period. Like I have a lot of acquaintances, I have a lot of conversations, I know many, especially in the industry that I work in. Like I work in the fashion industry. But that puts me in a place
We need to
where
talk.
I get to see what women hear, I get to see what women do with men, and I get to see what comes through an Instagram of a woman that can be attractive. So I can see why a man will be concerned, and especially if you get to be a fly on the wall. I get to sit down in a studio while like a model's getting her hair or makeup done. So you get to hear what her and the makeup artist are talking about. And some of the stuff you hear, you're like, oh yeah, I definitely wouldn't trust no male friend whatsoever. And what women will hide also is kind of super interesting. Like what they're willing to say that they're not doing anything bad. It was like, oh, it was just a trip. It was just a girl's trip. It was like 2 days. They flew me to China or like quickly went to Africa. And what happened in that trip? Why was it for free? Who invited you? Who paid for it?
Oh, no.
Do you get what I mean?
free.
But that's the
That's
type of
crazy.
stuff that I like. You get to see often, and if you're not around those circles and if you don't see it, I can see how most men will be like they can only imagine. But I'm not imagining. I'm like I've seen
Okay.
it. I hear it.
But like,
even on a smaller, more regular scale, you see that shit. Like sometimes when women hide shit, it's like even if they're not getting flown out and they're not doing all that shit, when they hide shit, it be for a reason. Like when they just don't tell you the full everything is for a reason. Like they got some shit up their sleeve or whatever the fuck. Like
But I think that's any human. Like I feel like if a human is not sharing something, it's because they're protecting themselves in any way, and that can be a man or a woman in that aspect. So I wouldn't say it's just a girl thing. I think that's just a human nature thing to kind of protect yourself if you think something can.
no, what I'm saying is like they're not gonna tell their boyfriend every single percentage of that friendship that they have with the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes they'll hold certain shit back. Like you might have a man and then you might introduce me as like, oh, he's just my friend, but I might have kicked it to you before. You know what I'm saying?
no,
we're
but
still
that's
friends.
different. I'm speaking more on like, again, people that you've done grown up with, like you grew up since kids with. So even though they're not family, you consider them as family.
They
But
still fall in love with you, but
okay, espérate. But it probably was at some point growing up, but even making that clear, like that's not what it is. You get past that. That's not what it is. But also just like so
So,
close into
that's the
families
part
that
that
they
I'm
call
asking.
my grandma, and they call mommy, and like tia,
But who
tia.
said that's not what it is? The girl or the guy? When you said we just made it clear that that's not what it is, like you made it clear to the person. Were you the girl that made it clear to the guy, or the guy was the one that said, "Oh, I don't see you in that way"?
The girl. But a mutual thing.
no, no, no. We gonna. He agreed to that shit because you said that shit. But no.
I didn't say I
What are you
agree
talking
with
No,
it.
no, not
What are you
you.
talking
When I
about?
say, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I don't know if you noticed in the conversation, like he asked you about the person that might have been that close friend that you grew up with, and then you say, "Yeah, at one point it might have been, but I made it clear that it wasn't, that it would never be." You just acknowledged that you, the girl, said we're only friends. You're the one putting it on the friend zone. Honestly, if at any point there was any intention from the guy, I doubt that in his mind, he's like, I'm friend zone forever. He's like, cool, I'll be friends for now. But like, if there's ever an opportunity, I guarantee you more than likely they'll probably take it.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, but if
And
it's
do
not-
that. I don't think it's a safe thing.
No, because sometimes people that do say it and mean it, whether it's female or male, como que like nobody, I don't know. I feel like people move different, and I think that's my issue sometimes. I feel like a lot of people don't move or think the way that I think. So if I ever was say some shit, it's final. That's it. So even if that person does make a move or is like whatever signs of I'm not trying to be in this friend zone case, it's like if
I understand that, and I'm not disregarding that you truly believe that. Like, I 100% believe that you believe that. But let's say if you ever have a partner or a boyfriend, I don't know if you do have one now, how is he so secure about it? Because he doesn't know what goes through your mind. He can only take your word for it at this point in time.
yeah, and I think that's always the case too. But then that's another thing where it's just like probably the family that I grew up in, and especially like the way that my aunts, my mom's sisters had a relationship with my dad. Like it was close where if it was an outsider, they would think the same way that you guys are thinking. But maybe because I grew up seeing that, and especially with my parents as well, like shit is just literally innocence and like just love, just a great relationship where my partner needs to be so secured that those thoughts are not even running through his head. Like he doesn't even have to question it because that's not a thing. These are just, again, my people, my family that has been there from day one, and they're there. It doesn't have to be any of those like just being curious or interested.
Yeah, I think at that point you just got to make him feel secure and know that. And then once he knows that and he feels
And I feel like that's why a lot of relationship and especially guys have that issue. And even if it was a secure relationship, it could be vice versa. You could have female friends, and that's not a problem to the girl that you're with. That's not an issue because y'all both are secured as fuck, not only in your relationship, but within yourself. That's not even a thought or a question because you just know your partner don't move like that. And you trust your partner enough where that's not a question. That shouldn't even be a thought in my head,
Yeah, I just don't see that a lot.
But it is a
That's
thought
the
in your
same.
head.
Huh?
But it is a thought in your head. That's the reason we're having that conversation right now, because you're
But
seeking
I
some
just said
form
it's
of
not even something
validation.
to question to even become a thought.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It is a thought. And what I mean is the fact that we're having this conversation means, I'm seeking validation because I must not be the only person thinking it in some way. And what I mean by that is,
I never said me.
I don't know, but I'm using it because you brought up the topic. But the fact that we're
Because
having,
I just see it a lot as
'Cause I
well.
think-
And yes, I have gone through it, but I have definitely seen it a lot. And it's
yeah,
just
and I think it automatically goes and to the phrasing, and I don't know, it goes into security or insecurity. Oh, they're just insecure. I think that's just a cop out. That's a simple way of deflating the blame of saying, you know what, there can be reasoning why. Because I know if the shoe was on the other foot, it would be very, very tough to, like, if you had a boyfriend that has a very
you're
close
saying-
friend.
Let's say if my partner was insecure, you're saying that me saying that, it's just a him insecurity thing, or him saying that it's a security thing?
No. What I'm saying, like, if the foot was in the other foot, like, say you had a partner that has a very close friend that's a girl that supposedly he grew up with, and let's say she's kind of attractive. You're saying there will be nothing within you that will feel some type of way about that.
It depends the history. What's the history? Like how?
Same history you described.
No question about it.
Like, there at one point in time she was interested, but you say no, it's never going to go past that.
I never said that.
We did said that.
I said
Yeah.
that could happen, but I never said that was the case.
But you don't know. You did say that you was like, but I was the one that stopped it. Like you were like, that.
I said I thought I said if I were in that position and it was brought up, like if that person had interest in me, I would stop it because I'm not interested.
Yeah, exactly.
So if that was the case,
So if it was your man to stop it, your man, it's the
Okay,
same,
if
the
he
same
would've
thing you just
stopped
said,
it.
but your man.
Okay, will that change the dynamic of that relationship moving forward?
no, it wouldn't change it. If I was in that situation, I'll just ask more questions
So you're-
just to see how secure, like what's their relationship.
No, so I mean, like, let's put you back in the chair, right? And the person that you grew up with, that's like a cousin to you, says that they do have some form of interest in you. If they bring that up, would then that change the relationship between the two of you moving forward?
No.
It wouldn't. So you will be able to look past it and know
100%.
that he told you, oh, I feel.
I have. These are people that are not in my life anymore. Because of that, because even though we agreed that, there was interest, we probably tried for like a week to see if like it'll go somewhere or a couple days and it didn't. I will always said, this relationship shouldn't, like, I'm not going to change. Like, I'm not going to treat you differently. None of that. So it shouldn't change. We come to the agreement because that's how it be. And then they just like totally switch up. They just stop talking.
That
to me.
exactly proved the point.
But I'm
That
saying
for the-
I wouldn't change though. I wouldn't treat you differently because
No, but that's what I'm
talked
saying.
about
It's like
something and
that
agreed,
proves the
and it
point that
didn't
the
work.
guy that's is
he
always
has that, he'll
lurking,
still-
waiting
okay,
for that
okay.
opportunity.
Yes.
And as soon as he was like, "Yo, this opportunity is not there," they're no longer in your
That's
life.
true. But I don't keep them in my life. If it's that case, you're not in my life.
But now,
Or in my circle,
but I
like-
think that is a great example to kind of put yourself in your supposed to be boyfriend's shoes of saying, "Oh, I can see why he will have concern of having a close friend, male friendship around."
Yeah. Okay, so we agreed that that's cut off. Like those people are not in the circle, if that's the case. Because the guys
I
keep
get so.
lurking. So let's just say if it is the case and the partner is cool with it, like would you be cool with it? Because I would be cool with it if they got past it. If they agreed on something and just got past it. No?
Nah, I don't necessarily want you around somebody that you like, that want to be with you and all this extra shit. Like, because then there's at any point you could just go ahead and do what you want. Like, I mean, you could do
Well,
that.
I guess
regardless-
everybody's
you could do that
different.
regardless, but
I guess it's hard to believe, but everybody's different. It's probably